All right, everyone. So here we've got an example of a cargo control document. And what I want to quickly do is just go through each individual field just to talk about what those fields mean. Because you're probably never going to fill one of these out unless you go and work for a carrier. If you're going to be a customs broker, we don't fill these out because they're only filled out by us if the carrier doesn't know what they're doing. And under the new rules, customs wants this information transmitted to them electronically, not by paper. And they want the information transmitted before the goods arrive, not when the goods arrive. In the old days, we used to fill these out because we didn't, the carriers didn't need to pre-announce themselves before they arrived. They just arrived, and then they would tell customs, "Hey, we're here. What do you want us to do?" And they would send them to us, the customs broker, and we would fill out this document for them. But we don't do that anymore. But we need to know the information that's on this document, the information, the fields of this document that are being transmitted to CBSA and to ourselves, because sometimes we need to get the information off of this document in order to help us identify who the importer is, in order to help us clear the goods through customs. So this little video will be to talk about the various fields on this document. Now there is a video, there is a PowerPoint as well attached to this particular video on Blackboard that goes through each one of these fields as well. Just to start with, there are a few fields that we don't deal with. And one is in transit, previous cargo control number, rate, advances, prepaid, and collect. This field, this one, and this one are never filled out, okay, or never transmitted, so don't worry about them. All right, so I'm going to start here with consignee. Consignee means delivery address. It's French for delivery address. So the carrier only knows where they're delivering the goods. Okay, they may not know who the actual importer is because they don't care. Their job is to pick the goods up at some place and to take the goods to another place. So what they tell customs is who the delivery address is. But as you can see here, it says not necessarily the importer. That's up to us, the customs broker, to decide. But the carrier will put the delivery address in here. Shipper, the carrier knows who they actually picked the goods up from, who's sending the goods. And that's not necessarily the vendor. It could be something different. But again, this is only all the carrier knows. They only know who the consignee is and who the shipper is. So that's who they fill out on this particular document. Okay? Number of packages. They need to tell customs how many pieces are on the truck or on the skid, or if it's an air shipment, the unit load device. So here they put down the number of pieces. Then they put down a general description of the goods. Okay. Again, the carrier doesn't know the breakdown of the goods on the shipment. They just know generally what they're carrying. They know they're carrying auto parts or they're carrying clothing. And that description is fine because as far as the customs is concerned, because they know the carrier doesn't know. But they are expecting a more detailed breakdown of the description from us, the customs broker. And we'll do that when we send them Canada Customs information. Here they're going to put the weight. Okay. This particular shipment is 4,500 kilos. Okay. It doesn't have to be in kilos, but because our friends in the United States don't use the metric system, so sometimes most truck shipments come in pounds. We have to convert it later on, but here's where we put the weight. And this weight is called the gross weight, not the net weight. And we'll talk about that in more detail when we do the Canada Customs invoice. The gross weight means this 4,500 kilos is the goods themselves, plus all the packaging and pallets, everything that's with the shipment. That's called the gross weight. Okay. Next field, foreign point of lading. It's only required if it's a marine shipment, and that means where the ship was loaded. Because remember, some of these ships travel all over the world. Customs wants to know where the ship was loaded with this particular freight, if it's a marine shipment. If it's an air shipment or truck shipment, we leave it blank. Okay, next, name of the carrier. Well, that's pretty obvious. Conveyance identification, that's pretty obvious as well. Let me just get this fixed up here for you. There you go. Trailer number or ocean container number, the conveyance identification, if we put that in there so customs knows. Location of the goods. It's two different things we have to do here. One of two different things we do here. Location of the goods are where they are right now. When customs receives this declaration, they're going to want to know, okay, when the goods arrive, where are they going to be in case customs wants to inspect them? And we have to put that place down here. And what we do is we put down the Sufferance Warehouse name here. Okay, we talked about Sufferance Warehouse in the last video. So if it's an air shipment by British Airways, it lands at the airport, it's taken off the plane, it's taken to British Airways warehouse, Sufferance Warehouse. Well, that's what we would put. That's what the carrier will put down here, British Airways warehouse. If the shipment's a truck shipment at the Canada-US border, like the example I gave you, then all we need to put is the port number of that particular Canadian port. Don't worry about that so much right now. We're going to talk about that when we get into the B3. But what we do is we put the port number. As a matter of fact, that is the port number right there of Windsor. The Canada Customs port number is 453. Don't worry about that so much now. Just know that what we have to put down here is the location of the goods. Okay. Which brings us up to here, the cargo control number. So here's we need to put the assigned number by the carrier of the shipment. The carrier code, the first 4 characters, and then the cargo control number. The whole number is the cargo control number. The first 4 characters is the carrier code. Now up here in the top right hand corner it says acquittal number. That is the transaction number that the customs broker attaches to the shipment. So when customs gets this transmitted to them from the carrier, this field will be blank. But when they get the updated version from the customs broker with the Canada Customs invoice information, this number will appear here. Okay, that is the transaction number applied by the customs broker. I left these ones here at the top here to the end because they're a little bit confusing. First one says manifest from, manifest to. What they want to know is, okay, where are the goods arriving? These goods, this truck shipment is arriving in Windsor. Windsor is in Ontario, the Canadian side of Detroit, Michigan. This box here is where the goods are going to clear customs. Well, they're going to arrive at Windsor. They're going to clear customs at Windsor. The number 453 beside Windsor indicates the Canada Customs number of Windsor, Ontario. So Canada Customs issues a port number for each one of their ports. Toronto International Airport is 497. Fort Erie is 410. Windsor is 453. Again, don't worry about that so much now because we'll get into that when we do the B3. And last but not least, it says here U.S. port of exit. This indicates to customs where the last place the goods were when they left the United States. If the shipment is from Japan or China, then this will be left blank. It's only completed when it comes from the United States. And the U.S. port of exit on this particular shipment is Detroit, Michigan, because the truck left the United States, went onto the bridge in Detroit, and drove across the Detroit River to Windsor, Ontario. So the U.S. port of exit is Detroit. This number here, 3801, is the U.S. Customs port number for Detroit. The 453 is the Canadian Customs number for Windsor. Again, don't worry about the numbers 453, 3801 right now. We'll do that more when we talk about the B3. Just know that this is the U.S. port of exit and it's only completed if it's from the United States, and this is where the goods are clearing customs, manifested from, and this is, well, pardon me, this is where the goods arrived in Canada, manifest from, and this is where the goods are clearing customs in Canada. Okay, so again, don't worry about so much memorizing this. Just know what the fields mean. Okay, and most of them are pretty straightforward. There is a PowerPoint that goes through each one of these fields, which I'll attach, and I'll also attach this particular document because it gives you a little bit of instructions as to what these particular fields are. So I'll put that on Blackboard as well. Okay, great. Talk to you soon, and stay safe. Actually, guys, there was one other thing I wanted to mention, just for you to remember. We, as customs brokers, do not fill out this document. The carrier fills out this document. And the carrier really doesn't fill out the document. He transmits the fields on the document to CBSA. Okay? Just wanted to make sure you understand that. And that's why you're not going to be filling this document out, because you're never going to do it. But you need, as customs brokers, the information off of this document. Okay? Great. We'll talk to you soon.